again and welcome to another exciting unboxing video. This time you will see we have a UniFi AP AC PRO, which is a Wi-Fi adapter, basically for running 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz. And we've got a few of these that we're going to install shortly, and thought it'd be quite interesting to show you the item, what it's like and what you get. So that's the way it looks on the box. The information at the back tells you all about the device, what it covers, the features and everything else, but I'm sure you can read that at your leisure. We're more interested in seeing what the actual device is like. So let's slide it out of the box. Presentation of the UniFi stuff, or Ubiquiti, main manufacturer, actually quite nice, very Apple-esque, and all neatly packaged. So I still have the same difficulty getting into them. And what we've got when we open the box is a little brochure on some of the other items that they do. We have a nice bit of foam, and there we have, which is almost like a frisbee, that is the access point. So with the backing plate here, and my nails aren't very good, so I'm going to just quickly use a screwdriver there to lift it up and just quickly spin that round. And that's where you would mount it to the wall or onto the ceiling. That there points to the top part of the device, which then lets you lock it in. And in here, what you should see, or what I can see actually as well, is you should have a main port and a USB port and a secondary port. Now apparently the USB port isn't actually used for anything at the moment, so we'll have to wait for that. But when you're setting these up, your main wire goes into the main port and it's powered off of PoE, or you can use an adapter. The additional port here you can link in onto a PC or any other device that just needs to connect to the network, so that's actually quite handy in some situations. And I say it's quite nice looking, blends into just about anywhere that you want to put it into. You have a metal plate. What that's for is if you're going to put it on a ceiling, like the kind of square fibre board ones that you just lift up, that goes above the board, and there'll be screws in here somewhere. Yeah. And what happens there is these long screws go through the fibre board and in turn screw onto that through it. So it's actually quite a neat way of actually mounting these things up. You've seen exciting screws. We have got a piece of rubber, which when you put it outside or even inside, that just seals the thing off. You put your cable through there, it seals it off nicely and keeps some rubbish out. We have a US type cable, so no use in the UK. Either cut that off and put a plug onto it, or you can buy a UK type cloverleaf cable. I think they're about £3 or something like that. It's up to yourself. A little set of instructions. Small pamphlet, but there is a lot, and I mean a lot of information packed into that, and that then opens up, open it all up, and you have a pile of information. So get your reading glasses on and go through that. It's well worth going through. And finally, in this particular box we have PoE injector adapter, so that if you don't have a PoE switch, what you can just do is plug in a cable there into the access point, cable from there into your LAN, power in the back, bingo, that shoe up and that shoe running. And finally, a little packet of screws if you're going to mount it to the wall or whatever else you're going to go and mount the thing to. So as you can see, there's fair collection of bits and pieces in the box. What I'll do is I'll show you, this actually lights up. It's quite a nice little blue light that comes off that. I'll show you that quickly powering up, and rather than just boring you to death with a quick unboxing, I'll also quickly show you the controller interface software that's used to set these up and everything else. So what we'll do is we'll clear some of the mess away. I will plug it into a PoE switch and you can see that starting up. Right, we've got the rubbish away. So what we'll do is we will turn that over. I've got a cable there ready. We will just plug that into the main socket, turn it over, and what we'll do is we'll kill the lights, and what you should see, hopefully, is the device starting to power up. White LED at the start, and it just waits a couple of seconds. And you can see the light flashing. That's near enough getting ready. That's the device ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll cut over to the software. I'll quickly show you that, and just to show you how easy it is to configure these up. Okay, so that's us in the controller software again, and you'll see here in grey that we have got 3 devices that are pending. So if we actually go to the devices themselves, you will see the MAC address, the IP address that's been given to each of the access points, the model, and then you'll see here that we've got the option to either adopt or upgrade them. So what we have to do really is upgrade them, and we'll do that one, and we'll do that one. So we will fire off the upgrades first and let that go. So that will take about a minute or so to actually do that, and then once that's done, then we can see about actually adopting them. Right, and you'll see now that the status has changed to pending adoption. So what that means is that the key is now sitting here waiting, the software is waiting for us to bring the full control over to it. So we'll click all 3, we'll see it provisioning, and that only takes a few seconds, and then we will basically have full control. We'll just try the refresh, and that's them connected. So all 3 of these devices are connected. When we go back to the dashboard, which is a bit strange sometimes, what you've actually got to do is refresh the whole page, let it log back into the controller before it goes green. So just in case you're wondering about it not actually showing up, that's what you've got to do just to get it to register. So now we've got 3 wireless LAN devices. Statistics, there's nothing because nothing's connected yet. Devices. So now when we go to, let's say, the first device, we can then start to see the MAC address, version, IP address, etc. Whole range of options here from controlling or getting information about the radios. We can even do an RF environment check, so if there's a lot of kind of Wi-Fi about here, we're not quite sure what channels to use, we can actually run this, and that will do its best to tell us what's the kind of best channels to go in on. Users, there's nothing. Guests haven't been set up. And into configuration, this is where you can actually start to name them. So rather than giving it a MAC address, you could have it as, you know, floor 1, floor 2, apartment 1, apartment 2, whatever you need to do, you can call it whatever you want there. When you go into the radio section, you can then change it from HT20 to HT40. You can have the channel set to auto 1 to 13. Now, there seems to be a case a lot of people think that the auto will automatically keep adjusting the channels to the sort of best one to use, and apparently that's not the case. Though a quick way of sort of using this is that if you actually restart the device, let it find a channel, it's usually pretty good at finding the strongest channel, and then just set that to whatever it is, be it 1, 6, 11. That's usually that's usually the default ones, 1, 6 or 11. The power, again, you'll need to play with this. Depending on your environment, again, high, medium, low, it just depends how many devices you've got and just how the signals are bouncing about. The exact same goes for the 5G side as well. 20, 40, 80 is available. Same with the channels, you can automatically, it'll pick one for you, or you can select whatever you want. And the same with the power as well. There's nothing set up for wireless LAN. Networking, we're just saying use DHCP. To manage the device, we can do it again from within there or straight in via terminal mode as well. If we want to do that as well, we can log into the terminal. And then if you're into typing all the commands in, you can type away to your heart's content, and that's where you do it. And really that's it. Once this is actually connected and you get clients connecting to it, it just runs. It's pretty straightforward. So hopefully that's given you a wee idea of what the interface is like for these devices. And again, if you have any questions about the devices at all, leave something in the comments, and I will certainly get back to you, and hopefully I can help you out. So anyway, thanks very much for taking the time to watch this, and hopefully I will see you again.